Ladies and gentlemen, there are certain things in this world that I cannot comprehend why someone would buy. I mean, don't get me started on Nicolas Cage in his wild, crazy purchases like his pet octopus, his haunted house, and his rare Tarbosaurus dinosaur head. Nicolas Cage may be the greatest actor of all time, but that dude has got a spending problem. Anyways, we work hard for our money in this world, and we shouldn't just waste it on a bunch of pointless things. And so in this video, I want to share 15 things I do not buy as a minimalist in order to save money, but also just because I think these things are a complete waste of money. And the first thing I do not buy is trendy town center food. If you haven't noticed, ladies and gentlemen, there is a trend that is sweeping the nation where in the last 4 to 5 years, every town in America has constructed these new trendy town centers complete with a massive playground for the children, a fire pit where adults can be adults, and a plethora of trendy restaurants. Welcome home. And although these town centers are hip, one thing I refuse to buy is food from these trendy restaurants, because coming from someone who worked 8 years in the restaurant industry, I know for a fact that all these restaurants in these trendy town centers are just serving frozen food, like frozen chicken breasts with painted grill marks. And it's extremely overpriced, but these restaurants know that they don't need to make good food because their nice ambiance brings people in regardless. And although yuppies and hipsters are perfectly fine for paying for overpriced frozen food, El Agustin, don't buy it. 2. Oil changes. Until about 2 years ago, I would go to these express oil change places to get my oil changed. Until I realized how easy it is to change oil. Literally all you have to do is unscrew a screw under the car, let the oil drain, change the filter, screw the screw back in, and pour in the new oil. Even El Agustin can do something as simple as that. And there's so many benefits to changing your own oil. You save money, but you can also use better oil and a better filter. And you don't have some weird mechanic touching your car. I mean, the main reason I do it is because I do not want some weird mechanic touching my car. But change your own oil. It's easy, you can save money, and it builds some character. 3. Individual stocks. So I haven't been investing for an extremely long time. Sorry, but El Agustin was having some fun in his 20s. Turn it up on a Tuesday. Got your girl in the back, she a-choosing. Investing had to wait. But when I started investing, like most people, I thought I could get rich quick by investing in individual stocks. However, the stock market has a way of humbling people because all of my stocks were in the red. But my investing life changed when I read this book, The Simple Path to Wealth, which talks about investing in index funds over stocks. And after reading that book, I will never buy an individual stock again. Index investing is so simple, but yet so effective, it's almost too good to be true. 4. Expensive gym memberships. I am a big advocate for staying in shape. I mean, look at me doing the squats. I know how to drop it low, but many people think that in order to stay in good physical health, they gotta spend a lot of money and go to these expensive gyms with pools, CrossFit classes, and a juice bar. But you don't need to spend a lot of money to be in good physical health. You don't even need to spend any money. I go to Planet Fitness to spend $10 a month and it has everything I need to stay in shape. You don't need to spend tons of money in order to be in good physical health, which is why I just avoid going to these expensive gyms altogether in order to save money. And as nice as it is to save money, I think it's important to never go too far when it comes to saving money on your health, and make sure you take care of yourself, not just physically, but mentally, which brings me to the sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. Just like you, I'm sure, I have gone through many tough things in my life. My parents got divorced at an early age. I went to 3 different high schools, and I'm always trying to navigate this crazy world. And having a therapist, somebody to talk to, has always helped me deal with those difficult life experiences. And BetterHelp is an online therapy platform that is on a mission to make therapy more accessible and more affordable to people, which is important because finding a therapist is very difficult, especially if there's limited options in your area. And because BetterHelp is all online, they have a network of thousands of experienced licensed therapists. All you have to do is answer a few questions, and BetterHelp will match you with the perfect licensed therapist for your needs. And once you get matched, you can communicate with them through various forms of communication, like text, call, and video chat. And for whatever reason, if your therapist isn't a good match, which is something that is very common, you can always switch at no extra cost to you. And because it's all online, it makes that transition a little bit more smooth and a little bit less awkward. And also, one of the benefits of doing therapy online is you get to do it in the comfort of your own home. But in my own experience, having someone to talk to, having a therapist has always been extremely beneficial. And if you're struggling in life, consider therapy with BetterHelp. And to get started and to get matched with a licensed therapist, as well as get 10% off your first month, click on the link in my description, betterhelp.com/Austin Williams. And thank you, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this portion of the video. 5. Food delivery. Now, this is not a diss on food delivery drivers because I know y'all work hard, but I cannot comprehend why somebody would pay for these food delivery services like Uber Eats or DoorDash because they're ridiculously expensive. I mean, meal prices are normally increased by 20%. There's a delivery fee, other fees, and tips. You end up spending more money on the delivery than the actual food, and I think that if you're too busy to pick up your own prepared food, you need to examine your life because no one should ever be that busy. And I refuse to spend money on these food delivery services. 6. Vacationing in the US. Now, I don't know if you know this, but I am a world traveler. I've been to Asia, Africa, North and South America, and Europe too. Let's just say I've been around the block a few times. But one reason I love traveling to other countries is because in the US, we have the privilege of having our currency as the dollar. And the dollar goes far outside of the US. I mean, two people could go to Disney World for a week and spend $3,000 if they're frugal. Or two people could go to Costa Rica for a month and spend $2,000 and live like royalty. I like to visit family and friends in the United States, but I don't like to vacation here because it's much cheaper and it's much more interesting to vacation abroad. 7. Things on sale. Companies have this big marketing strategy where they'll use words like sale, discount, BOGO to get you to buy things that you have no intention of buying. And many people spend hundreds of dollars a year on things simply because they're on sale. And sure, you might save 50% by buying the on sale item, but you'd save 100% by not buying the item. And so I refuse to be drawn in by these marketing strategies, and I only buy things that I had the intention of buying. 8. New phones. The average new phone nowadays is going to cost you somewhere between $500 and $1,000. Which is complete nonsense, and I cannot wrap my head around why people buy phones every single year. But if you go on eBay, and believe it or not, eBay is still a thing, and search for the previous model of the phone you want, you can save an insane amount of money. For example, a new Google Pixel 7 is $449, and a Google Pixel 5 on eBay is $139. And the difference between those two phones is so small, and so I refuse to buy a new phone, and I only buy used phones on eBay. 9. New furniture. People spend a ridiculous amount of money on furniture like couches or dining room tables or coffee tables. And I do not understand why people do that, because you can go to the thrift store or Facebook Marketplace and find good furniture for 90% cheaper. For example, this is my coffee table I bought at a thrift store for $45. This is my dresser I bought for $35 at a thrift store. And this is my side table I bought on Facebook Marketplace for $20. And the best part of the thrift store is that it makes you feel like you're at Granny's house. But it's solid quality furniture, and I refuse to buy new furniture when I can just go to the thrift store or Facebook Marketplace and get it for much cheaper. 10. Shirts with logos. If you're a frequent visitor to my channel, you might notice that I have a rotation of about 5 solid color shirts. I have the green one, the black one, the maroon one, the navy blue one, and the sky blue one. And I'm not doing this just for the camera, but these are actually the shirts that I wear in real life. I'm what you would call a solid shirt kind of guy, but I don't like to buy shirts with logos because 1, I don't want to be a walking advertisement, and 2, I don't like to think that much about my clothes. I just go to Target and get a bunch of solid color shirts at $8 a pop. 11. Scented home products. A friend of mine that works for the EPA was telling me how little regulation there is for these scented home products like Febreze spray, Glade plug-in scents, and candles. And how the chemicals released from these products are basically like releasing car exhaust in your home. We've been so conditioned to believe that clean has a smell, but clean doesn't have a smell. Clean smell is no smell. And after he told me how harmful these scented home products are, I refuse to buy them anymore. And it helps me save money, but more importantly, it creates a home environment with less chemicals. 12. Fancy outdoor equipment. As somebody that lives in Colorado, I spend a lot of time outdoors. I'm climbing those 14ers, bro. But pretty much everybody in Colorado likes to spend time outdoors, but one thing that annoys me about Colorado people is that they spend ridiculous amounts of money on things to have fun outside, like a mountain bike that cost over $5,000, or thousands of dollars on ski equipment. And if that's your thing, then that's your thing. But I refuse to spend tons of money on this fancy outdoor equipment because I don't think that you need to spend a lot of money to have fun outside. I think the funnest things you can do outside are completely free. 13. Books. Now, I hate to say this because it sounds like I'm not supporting authors, but I do not like to buy physical books because 1, they create a lot of clutter, and 2, I can just check them out at the library. But my local library literally has every single book in the English language, and unless it's a book that I want to read over and over again, I just choose to check out books from the library instead of buy them. 14. Cheap glasses. Now I have a confession to make, ladies and gentlemen. When I am not filming, I wear glasses. I tried to wear contacts, but if you look back at my older videos, they were making my eyes extremely bloodshot. Contacts do not work for me, but because I wear glasses every single waking minute, I find it important to get glasses that I love. And so I bought this pair of glasses and this pair of prescription sunglasses for $500. And I could go on Zinni and get these cheap Chinese sunglasses for $50. But I want glasses that are good quality because I wear them every single waking minute. And so I refuse to buy these cheap glasses and instead just spend a little extra money to get something I actually want. 15. Low quality items. The final thing that I do not buy is low quality items because I believe that when you buy low quality items, you're setting yourself up to buy it again very shortly. But when you buy high quality items, it ends up lasting longer. And I am perfectly fine with spending a little bit more money getting something higher quality because in the end, you end up saving money because it lasts longer. And those are the 15 things that I do not buy as a minimalist. I hope you enjoyed this video. Muchas gracias. Que tengan un buen día. Thank you BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. Nos vemos, chicos.